Peace, family, and welcome back to the Campaign TV Show. I am your host, Brother King Cam, and I need everybody to go ahead and share this out to as many people as possible. Let me check my audio because I'm hearing the echo. I'm definitely hearing the echo. Here we go. Okay, way better, way better. All right, family. So, again, man, welcome to another episode of the Campaign TV Show. I'm your host, Brother King Cam, and this is where we have real conversations with real people, family. So tonight we have a special guest who's going to be joining us. But before we get into our special guest, y'all know I would like to show our intro video. Y'all know how we rocking each and every time we open up the show. So I'm going to drop that. Then I'm going to get right into our guest. All right.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me. I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still wanna think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I'm chosen by that man, you know y'all just been running game. The nerve of you acting like I ain't.
Yeah, family. So, man, y'all know how we do it, man. Shout out to Golden Child for that wonderful record, family. Always opening up the show on the right note with the right vibes. All right. So, man, we got a special show lined up for you tonight. I got a good brother who's going to be joining us. Y'all might have seen us on Instagram Live together. You might have seen us doing some other work together, some photos on social media, putting it in for the entrepreneur community. And I have that brother on going to be on the show talking to us tonight. First, though, I want to tell everybody, I need you to like, share, and subscribe. So this is for the YouTube and the Facebook family. I need all of you all who are coming in. Make sure that you hit the comment section. Let me know what city, what state you're tuning in from. I know we're getting it started a little late tonight, but those who are joining us, I need you to hit the comment section. Let me know what city and state that you're joining us from. I need you to share this out to your network. Get some people tapped in because we're going to be talking about building Black business. We're going to be talking about really how you take your business and the steps that you need, the mindset that you need in order to be successful right out the gate. That's what we're going to be talking about. So if you know somebody who may need this information, you want to make sure that you send this link out to them, share this to them, and make sure they have it. I need you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell so you can stay notified each and every time we drop a video. And I need you to make sure that you comment and like as well. But we're building up our YouTube base over there, family. So share this out. But I am not gonna hold up the show any longer. I'm going to be bringing my good brother. He is the founder of what is called the Black Agenda. If you haven't seen it, you can notice it by the black and gold. That's the logo. That's the branding. The black and gold, the Black Agenda, right? I'm talking about a brother who's been able to make 10,000 in a month, if not more, with his business coaching. I'm talking about a brother who is teaching small business owners and other entrepreneurs foundational business principles that's allowing them to flourish coming straight out the gate. I'm talking about none other than my big brother, Ken Stevens Jr., and I'm about to go ahead and bring my brother on. Y'all give him a warm virtual round of applause. You got to unmute yourself, Ken. You got to unmute yourself.
All right. What's up, man? What's up, bro? Nice to be on the podcast, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's pretty good. I'm in Vegas right now, so
oh yeah.
I'm on a little tour, a little countrywide tour.
Okay. Absolutely, bro. So, man, we're glad to have you on the show. And like I was saying, man, you've been able to accomplish so much. I met Coach Ken, man, in the ABS tribe on my entrepreneurship journey. And as we met in the ABS tribe, man, this brother has become so impactful. If you follow his social media, Ken Stevens Jr. or the Black Agenda, you see all of the information, all of the teaching that he does on a daily basis. He comes from a teaching background. So all of the teaching that he does on a daily basis as it pertains to entrepreneurship and business startup is very important, because some of the things that he discusses via business startup are some of the steps that we skip, or some of the red tape that we don't even like to address most of the time. You're talking about LLCs, you're talking about contracts. A lot of us doing partnerships with people don't have our contracts set up. Ken can tell you all about the importance of having all of that stuff set up. So, that's what he has a track record of doing. And tonight we want to hear your story. And then also we want to get some information, some of them gems that you talk about in your infographics on Instagram. I want you to talk to us about it. So first, what led you into entrepreneurship?
Going into entrepreneurship, if we technically speaking, I've been an entrepreneur since, I was about maybe about 11 years old, probably. Yeah, so in middle school.
That's usually when it starts, around that age.
Yeah, at that age, I started selling the little candy straws. So I was doing that. I found somebody that was doing it. They was making good money. I was like, all right, shoot, I'm gonna undercut them. So I started selling too, and selling it for a little cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And then I started making money that way. And then that got old, and I was like, all right, man, I could do this. As long as you got people you could trust, and you got a network of people that need what you want. And
Right.
that was that sugar in middle school. So that was one of my first encounters with entrepreneurship. And outside of that, man, it's been like a journey, in becoming an adult as an entrepreneur, because I kind of had let it fall to the wayside because of sports and being an athlete. You got to be very disciplined in what you're doing and very focused for you to even be half as good, as some of the people who just do everything naturally. So in that facet of things, I picked it back up, when I was in college, and that's when I started to excel a little bit more. Starting a New Era Prep, which is our nonprofit, back in 2017, and doing that. So that's when everything started, from that first business. Then our scholarship foundation, we have that as well. And then the Black Agenda, that's pretty much the latest that was pretty much formed. Black Agenda and the Black Agenda firm, those are latest too.
Wow. So story is, in the beginning forms of entrepreneurship, it always, I know for most of us, starts at an early age, 8 years old, selling candy, you know what I'm saying? Selling chips, whatever it is, selling waters, right? Whatever it is that gave you that entrepreneurial itch or that spirit just to get out and be able to make your own money, I think is very important foundationally for a lot of different entrepreneurs. And one of the things that you say is that you help people turn their ideas into business, right? You help them turn their ideas into business. So everything that we see, family, and if you just joining us, shout out to Nasty Natty, Ohio, Cold Nasty Natty. Yo, shout out to Ohio in the building, man. Them boys in the Super Bowl, and everybody in Cincinnati is lit, bro. I did not believe that they was gonna make it to the Super Bowl. I'm talking to my mans, and he like, bro, the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. I said, ain't no way. The Titans gonna take care of business. I look up, the Titans didn't take care of business. The Bengals moving on. I said, all right, the Titans gave it up, but they definitely gonna lose to the Chiefs. So we don't even have to worry about that. Man, the Chiefs trick up the game, bro. And I look up, and the Bengals is going to the Super Bowl. I couldn't believe it. But shout out to them. I do like Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? So, and what's that quarterback name? I can't think of his name now.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Burrow. Yeah, Burrow be balling. So I like Chase and Burrow. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Natty family. But so when you're talking about taking ideas and turning them into business, everything that you see that's around is a business or a product, right? So either you turn that idea into a product, which became a business, or the idea was a full on business. So that's spot on when you say that. So, like I said, you have been coaching. You have been coaching other small business owners on how to structure their business. Why is that important coming out of the gate, knowing how to structure a business?
Yeah, that's a good question. Coming out the gate, it's important getting things started off the right way, because what I see time and time again is the fact that people will get hype off of what they see on the internet, or if there's something that's trending and things of that nature. And the one thing I always lead with is saying that, like, you have to ask yourself this question: like, am I building for legacy, or am I doing this for hype?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's one of the things we don't really talk about in the culture. Is like, yes, we could start a business about X, Y, and Z, but is we doing this for legacy or just the hype? Are you doing this just to fill your pockets, or are you trying to really circulate money in the community? And that's how I think and that's my philosophy when it comes to business. If you're not doing something of that nature, then I can't really work with you. You know what
yes,
I'm
sir.
saying? So, because those businesses, they'll bottom out. There won't be, high profit margins. And that's not something that you could use to literally walk away from your job. You know what I'm saying? If you choose to do so. But that's always the goal for quite a few people, who are in that space. So with starting it out the right way, you want to structure it so that you can be able to hand it off to other people. Because one of the worst things that I see is when someone gets their entrepreneurial journey started, they don't understand the fact that you have to be your first customer, best customer and client, and then your first best employee.
Right.
So,
Right. I was getting ready to go there. Be
oh yeah,
your best employee.
yeah. So you gotta have that for yourself when you're starting out, because if you don't have a proof of concept, so you being a consumer or a client, all right, if you don't have a proof of concept that it hasn't worked for you, then how can you pass that on to somebody else? That's one of the biggest misconceptions. Some people just start things and they start to practice on customers and clients.
Right.
And it's just like, this is why you get bumped out of business so quickly. You need to be your first guinea pig to see if something works, if you can have a proof of concept and make money
Right. And
before you get things started.
and also too, I just wanted to drop this in there too. SOPs.
Yep.
Very important when it comes to duplicating and creating those processes for other people. So shout out to NYC in the building. So I say that because a lot of small business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with this, because you know how to do something. Ken may know how to go out and create a business from scratch with his eyes closed. I may be able to go out and create a post on social media with my eyes closed. Right? Know how to edit the video, know how to get the music, know how to do everything, right? Put the right hashtags in there, the whole nine. And there are things that I know how to do that I kind of don't think about as when I'm doing it, because it's second nature to me. Okay.
Facts.
It's second nature to me. So I just kind of go through the motions and get it done. But now the problem lies when you bring somebody else on. And I want everybody who is listening to hear what I'm about to say, because we bring other people into the business and we have not established a clear pathway for them to get the job done, whatever they're coming to do. If they're coming, for example, I have a podcast. So say I'm putting a team together for a podcast and I need somebody to run the camera. I know how to operate my camera. I know what the setting's supposed to be on. I know how the focus works. I know how all of that stuff works. But I don't have a process to show another person how to work the camera. They come in, they work the camera, and they do something wrong. Then I get on them about not performing the job well. This is a type of this is something that happens and goes on for months and months and months, and then that person may leave, right? And then you see the person say, "Hey, what happened to the team you was building?" Oh no, they didn't really understand what they were supposed to be doing. They didn't get the work done right. They didn't do what they're supposed to do. When really it's not them. They are coming there to work for you. You supposed to have the job laid out for them already. When you go to a Fortune 500 company, whether it's Lowe's, Home Depot, Waffle House, if you work in the school system, fire department, police department, your job description is there when you apply for the job. These are things we're expecting you to do. This is what we expect you to do. Every day you get here, this is what you should be doing. This is what should be in your mind. This is what your duties and responsibilities are. This is what we expect. As small business owners, we have to do the same thing, because if the job is not clear, how can we expect somebody to perform it well? And also, how are we grading their performance if we don't have a measurement stick? Go ahead, Coach Ken.
Oh yeah, no, that's all facts and good stuff that you said right there. Because if you don't have any order, it's gonna be hard to keep the order.
That's right.
Because one thing, and if you got a note and pad and you on here, watching this, one thing I want you to write down is nobody should know your business better than you. Nobody should know your business better than you. All right. And this is one of the bigger things that we skip over. This is why I say we like to do a slow build and we like slow cook success. All right. Because we are able to track our steps and then duplicate that process, especially if it was a successful process. We don't have to do all this skipping and backtracking. You know what I'm saying? Then that's what a lot of people end up doing. I've heard stories from people investing 15,000, 9,000 into people to help them do something, which was basically them not doing things right from the start. And when you start something yourself and messed up, you got to pay the price for somebody to come behind you and clean up your mess.
That's right.
And this is one of the the very things that take people out of business, because they don't understand the different many intricacies and the different things that are very meticulous when it comes to starting a business, and they don't have any strategy, or they don't have a business plan as well. Because most people, they claim to be shy, they claim to I don't got no money, whatever it may be. It's just all these different things that come up when people are looking to start a business, but all of this stems from not having a plan in place. Because if you got a clear plan, you got a plan of action, you could battle any of these things. Funding, getting proper help, knowing how to structure your business. And this is what's skipped over every single day. So you have to have those operations in place and make the process that you could duplicate it. Because when we think about business planning, some people just think about funding, but you have to think about it like this, Cam. I'll tell you, if one business plan, right, and build a successful business off of it, what can you do after that?
Wash, rinse, and repeat.
Wash, rinse, and repeat. You could do it again. And this is the part that people skip over. They want to wait until they bump their head, get thrown down the alley, stabbed up, put in the body bag, and they're in the corner, and talking about them saving. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, nah, you did that to yourself, And that's what a lot of people do, and they don't see it. Because another thing, my audience is first generation entrepreneurs and creatives. So I chose this particular audience because this is where I see most of the fault at, as far as making sure that things are structured correctly for you to have a profitable business. All right. Do you know the identity of your business? Do you know the problem that's in your market? Or do you even know how to research the problem that's in your market? What are your solutions to those problems? And do you know your target market? Those are some of the 4 keys that you got to have in order for you to have a successful business. It don't matter if you're running a major key. It don't matter if you're running a multi-million-dollar business, multi-billion-dollar business, or you running a startup that ain't made no money and you still in the idea phase. Those are 4 pillars and components that have to be in there if you're going to be successful. There's no way around it. It's either, if you don't do it now, you're gonna do it once you fail, start all over. I promise you that. And this is the thing, and we've seen it. We've seen it with our own eyes. Not having things, you don't have things in order, they're going to fail. It's hard to keep up something when you're running it like a damn lemonade stand. I made a post about it. Like, some people you don't just go out here, post something, you stand up, I stand next to my post, and then, hey, we good to go.
That's right.
The people gonna come to me. That's not strategy. That's you on a hope. That's on hope and prayer.
Right. And I have mentioned before, we got to be scientists about business. We have to be scientists about business. We have to be intentional. We have to be meticulous about what we're doing in business. And the reason why we struggle with this is because we don't know. We was never taught the intricacies. We were taught you want to do something for yourself. We were taught you want to go into business for yourself. You want to work for yourself. So basically, if you know how to do something, then you could basically offer it as a service if you have the ability to do it very well, right? You can offer it as a service, or if you have a product, you can sell it and you can make money, right? But that's not the intricacies of business. When you get into the intricacies and the nuance of business, where's your structure? Where's your system? Where are your SOPs? Where are the different things that are needed in order for growth and scale? Because what Coach Ken is talking about is some of the things that I'm dealing with in my business right now, right? We are structuring ourselves so that we can be in a position to be able to scale and grow in the market. But we have to position ourselves properly, and that starts with a lot of the things that we just mentioned, as far as putting systems in place, having SOPs where people can come in and they have a clear path to success when it comes to being hired on at this particular position, right? How are you able to gain success and traction in this particular position that you may aspire to be in or you hired to be in, right? So putting those different things in place, putting systems in place, right? So getting your email marketing set up is very important. Shout out to everybody that's coming in to the show tonight. We appreciate y'all for hanging out a little late with us. Normally we're a little bit early, but tonight it's a little bit later. So appreciate y'all for just showing some love. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe via YouTube, hit that bell, stay notified each and every time we drop a video. Shout out to my man, Ray Robinson from ATL, who's checking in. And what we're talking about tonight, family, is business, building business with the founder of the Black Agenda firm. His name is Coach Ken Stevens Jr. And building those systems are very important. So your email marketing, you have to have strategy. What are you looking to do? What are you looking to do? A lot of people said, what were you doing? What was your mindset when you first started growing your brand on social media? And this is my mindset. My mindset was that I didn't have a product or service at that time. So I wasn't looking to sell anything. What I was looking to do was establish myself as an authority, get my message out there, and be as consistent as possible in growing the brand. So I didn't have any services or products that I was trying to sell. Wasn't trying to make any money. I was just trying to make as much splash or become as impactful in the market as I possibly could. So staying consistent, putting out videos, putting out the message, right? Identifying myself with other influencers in the market who had a larger platform than me, establishing my podcast. These were all of the different things that I had in my mindset I needed to do to get more visibility. But everything that I was doing was intentional. Everything that I did was intentional. It wasn't a strategy. It wasn't me waking up and saying, well, matter of fact, I'm going to just try to, talk to 19 Keys today. Or you know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to try to get RZA on an Instagram live. Maybe, we can get a good conversation going. No, I knew that RZA had a good platform on his Instagram live because I would be on there. I saw the numbers on there. So I'm like, man, I need to be in front of 1,500 people on a live stream talking about what I talk about and giving my message. You see what I'm saying? I need to align myself with those who already have a larger platform. So if they got an event coming to my city, I need to be at that particular location. So not only can I get social proof, but also I can be able to get more content and be able to grow the brand in that particular fashion. So every move that I was making was an intentional move in order to grow the brand. That's the strategy that I'm using in order to accomplish the goal. So if the goal is to brand and to get sales, well, we just went over some different strategies that we could use in order to brand. But as far as sales are concerned, now we have to look at that and say, okay, how are we going to convert? How are we going to get in front of more people than we are now? And then how are we converting them? And then what does a conversion look like? That's a whole process. I'm about to alley-oop you, kid. It's a whole process on how you convert a client, how you convert somebody that's a cold lead, meaning they don't know anything about your brand or your business. They haven't saw you on social media because you ain't got no coaching from me to learn how to build your brand up yet. So they ain't really seen you on social media. So they're a cold lead who fell across your product or your service. How are you going to convert them? What's the process? Why is that important, Coach Ken?
Well, the process is it's simple but not easy. That's my thing this year. I'll be saying it's simple but not easy when it comes to converting it to sales. So one thing that I had to do early on for myself: set a target, set a daily target for the amount of money that you want to make per day in your business. Now you want to set this target, even if you don't hit the target, you still want to have that target set daily because it will come a day where you will hit that target and you will do it with your eyes closed. So you want to have a target set because that's going to force you to do some reverse engineering as to where you have to actually look at some real numbers and be a scientist about your business and actually break down and bust down how can I get this amount of money in a day? What steps do I have to take to get that? Because one thing that we have to do, a lot of people, they want to leave their job, but I was like, don't forget about the job structure. Now, if we want to break it down, you make whatever $10 an hour, and you looking at it like this. All right, like I make $10 an hour. That's $80 in a day if you work in an 8-hour day. So now you calculating it like that. You have to do that very same thing when it comes to your business. But it depends on what you're going to be using to put yourself out there. So one thing that I did for myself is I used Instagram. This is how I got started as far as the business and making money. So with Instagram, I started looking at how many followers that I had, and then I started to look at as well. All right, my insights. When they released those insights and gave you the complete breakdown, you could see all right who is basically watching your stuff, who is where they're from and things of that nature.
Yep, the
And then
geographic location. Yep,
yeah,
gender.
geographic location. And then the thing that I was most impressed with from Instagram was the impressions. That's my bread and butter right there. Impressions. That's what I look at. So I know I didn't have a lot of followers, but I had to look at how many accounts am I reaching? So am I reaching a lot of accounts? Then that means that people are getting like eyeballs onto my business. And this is what we have to understand. We have to be doing, I like to call them MMAs, all right? The MMAs, and we ain't talking about fighting, but money making activities.
Money
All right.
making activity. Y'all put that in the chat, family. Somebody put that in the chat. Money making activities. MMAs. Money making activities, family. And if you just joining us, I'm your host, Brother King Cam, Brother Coach Cam. And this is the Campaign TV Show, family. I'm here with Ken Stevens Jr., founder of the Black Agenda, and we talking business. All right. Put that in the chat, family. MMAs. Money making activities. Go ahead, Ken.
Yep. So when we have these money making activities, we have to be able to look at it and be like, okay, what we got going on. So impressions, like I said, was my thing to look at. So I looked at the impressions and I seen that every time that I got over a certain amount of impressions, I think it was like 1,500 impressions, I made $50. So I was like, oh, this is a formula, because it was hitting every single time. It was with t-shirts. When I was selling the t-shirts and pushing those hard, I would be throwing up almost 8 to 10 posts a day. It was very intentional, but it was the message behind the shirt. But it was like, okay, if I could impress upon this many people, I could make $50 a day. This is when I was still, like most people, I was in like that side hustler phase.
Right.
Still working my 9 to 5, but I'm looking to, supplement my income and build out something. And that's what I started with at that basis. Now, when it comes to building out, a conversion, for business, if you're doing, I mostly work with service-based businesses. When you are doing that, what you want to do is make sure you have something that's called an onboarding process. All right,
Talk
onboarding.
about that.
All right, onboarding. So you can look at it like this. When you go get a download for somebody, whatever it is, first thing you get once you put in your name, email, phone number, you get an email. That's the onboarding process. So you need to have that, for yourself and your business. So when you are starting out, people understand that you running a legit business. You ain't talking about, hold on, I'm gonna send a link to your phone. Like, no, it's an onboarding process that's right there for them. You can't send links to phone. I ain't knocking none of that, but I'm just saying. And once you start to get into high ticket, you got to start moving like high ticket too.
Absolutely.
So with that, you'll have that onboarding process, give them the email, things like that. And then they understand that, okay, this is legit. They have a way that they come in, and then you have to have this middle part. I posted about it today on my Instagram as far as the two things that people struggle with when it comes to getting money and conversions is that they don't have basically something that is their anchor. All right, that is their anchor for the business. Like you have to have an anchor service or anchor
Offer, right?
product, huh?
I said offer, right?
Yeah,
So either
anchor
offer or
offer.
product.
Yeah, anchor offer a product. So when it comes to that, let me because I want to pull it up exactly so I ain't misquoting myself. So the core service, all right. So the core service is one of the biggest things that you can have for yourself, all right. When it's the core service, because this is where people will trust you, right? They'll trust that you could actually do something for them, all right, because you have established yourself as an authority in that space because this is what you talk about all day, every day. You done it for yourself. You showed your process. You got testimonials. All right, boom. This is your core service. All right,
Coach
people know you for that. That's how you're gonna make money.
Ken,
Now, the next one. All right,
Ken,
yep.
real quick, because I know you get ready to go, right?
Mhm,
But I want you to back up and I
mhm.
want you to highlight showing your process and you did it for yourself because a lot of us get on and we want to talk about a product or a service that we have, but we don't have any testimonials. We don't have any social proof to show that it actually works or that we've done it for ourselves. So in my case, I can only speak on my case. In my case, the reason how I was able to move into the lane of coaching, right? Of social media brand coaching is because I had the results from my own social media.
Facts.
My own social media tells the proof of the strategies that I use in order to grow it. Anybody that has been following me for any significant amount of time has seen the growth. We didn't always have 40,000 followers on Instagram, but you was there through the whole journey. You saw the growth. We didn't always have 70 something thousand followers on Facebook, but you saw the growth. We didn't have 15,000 followers on TikTok, but you saw the growth, right? So if you follow my stories, you'll see where I will post the analytics. You'll see the impressions. You'll see the views. You'll see all of those different things. And you say, okay, this brother actually not only can talk about it in videos and talk about growing a brand and being able to grow on social media and things like that, but his own pages have grown. You see the increased visibility on his pages, and that helps when you establishing yourself as an authority in the business space because everything is about testimonials. Anytime you go to purchase anything, one of the first things you're looking for is customer reviews and testimonials. Okay, let me look at some of the reviews to see what other people thought about this. Let me see the testimonials to see what people purchased the product, what was their experience with the product, right? To know that it does what is advertised. Very important. So I wanted to just back up with you on that, Coach Ken, because I think that's important. Some of us would jump out there, but we don't have any of those processes in place or any of that proof to actually show that we know what we just talking about. We're not just reading it, off a book or off an article or something like that.
Yeah, facts. Nah, you're right about that. That was definitely something worth backing up for because when it comes to that, like I said before, being your first best client and customer, there's something we call the beta phase when it comes into business. You have to have the ability, all right, to make sure if you are doing a service, whatever it may be, you may be doing it for free, all right, or a very low price. Now, when you are in this phase, you are actually supposed to be gaining data, all right, and amping yourself up for when you actually launch the business. So during this phase, you'll make a little money. You should be able to break even more than likely. Now, during this process, what you want to be focused on very much is the fact that, okay, I'm going to gain reviews and I'm going to make sure I have a proof of concept, not only for myself, but for others. And the numbers could be and the numbers could be very convincing, all right, as well, because you is no way you could have a proof of concept if you haven't proven it for yourself and then for others. Because when people are looking for someone who they trust to do a service, whatever it may be, they want to see if somebody else has had success with it, and then they want to know how fast can they get a result. If you are out here talking about you got a service that does X, Y, and Z, you better have a guarantee. I'll tell you
Right.
that. You better have some type of guarantee that's a part of your offer. All right. And that's something that I didn't understand early on. But then I started to see the light a little bit more as I went through the business. And this is one thing also, because we could teach you all the strategies and things like that, the Black agenda. But one thing we cannot do, and we do not guarantee, is the business will always teach you the business at the end of the day. All right. So
The
everybody has
business will always teach you the business.
Yes, sir. Everybody has their own path that they have to walk when it comes to building out their business. So it's no cookie cutter model that's going on here, but there is a proven model as to like a guarantee we have. You will have one client within a month of working with us, because we just know the system that we'll be implementing and the different things that we have in order. They have worked to get me multiple clients and others to get their first client. It's like most people, I tell it like this when it comes to building out the business, especially for our people in the culture. It's never ever an issue of talent. It will never be talent. It's almost never the talent. It is always the organization and the structure of things. That's one of the biggest Achilles heels in the Black communities as far as building the business and building a small business, period. All right, because 20% of small businesses fail within the first year due to poor planning. And this is something that people take for granted, but then I know you setting yourself for the setup. Because we talking about 20%, that's 1 in 5, baby.
Come on,
that's 1 in 5. You line up 5 of y'all, 1 of y'all failing by the numbers y'all failing. And then the number just keep creeping up and up more as the years go on. And most businesses don't survive past 10 years. So you can't trip your way into a 5-year business, a 10-year business. And if you do stay alive that long, we don't know if you're profitable.
Because look, you got to think about it. What people don't anticipate what a lot of people don't anticipate in entrepreneurship is all the pivots that have to be made as the market changes, right? All of the pivots that have to be made when the market changes is something that's unaccounted for most entrepreneurs and small business owners, because the way it is now, you think it's going to always be. I'm going to say that again. The way it is now, you think it's always going to be, and that's not the case. As you can tell from, NFTs to cryptocurrency, digital real estate, everything is moving towards a digital platform. E-commerce, right? Now you can literally shop and buy groceries online and then have them delivered to your home. You got robots now that are actually serving you as waiters and waitresses. We got self-checkout. Everything is moving towards digital platforms. So as a business owner, if at least part of your business does not have an e-commerce side to it, you're not going to be here in 10 years. If part of your business does not include any online products where either you are creating courses and classes or some type of online products that people are able to access in a portal of some sort, you're not going to be here in 10 years. If you don't have some type of subscription-based service where people can tap in to your content and be able to learn and educate themselves through your system that you have set up, you're not going to be here in 10 years because you didn't account for the pivot. You're not accounting for 10 years, 15 years down the line, what the economy is going to be like, what's the market going to be asking for at that time. Very important that we know, because what it is today is not going to be what it is tomorrow. So those are the things that we have to keep in mind, because a lot of businesses went under during the pandemic, during the beginning of the pandemic. Why? Because they was not able to adjust, was not able to pivot. See, some people already had an online situation set up. Some people already had some type of digital situation set up, or people figured it out at the beginning of the pandemic. They said, shoot, I can't go to my brick and mortar store. I can't go to my building right now. How can I make money? Oh, let me get on Instagram and start teaching what I taught at the store. Let me get on Facebook and start teaching or doing what I did at my building and start setting up Zoom classes and have somebody pay me for those Zooms. See, but if your mind wasn't working like that during the pandemic, At the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of businesses went under because they did not properly plan for the future.
Facts.
So Ken is talking about being around for 10 years. In that 10-year span, in that 20-year span, there's going to be pivots that you have to make as an entrepreneur, and you have to be thinking about those different things.
Yep, and this is something that a lot of people have to go through, and people get punched in the mouth every day when it comes to business, just off the simple fact that they don't have any type of systems in order. And like I was saying, knowing those four things as far as your identity, the problem in the market, your solution, and then knowing your target market is going to be key. And then having your offers in place. That's the next part. Having your offers in place, because a lot of times, as the culture, because I'm just speaking on the culture, because I know our people, we haven't been properly taught sales.
Right.
All right. Because we think we know how to sell something because we're able to make sales, but we don't know the methodology and the science, once again, behind sales. Because you have to be very strategic in what you're doing and to make people understand that, like, what you are offering is worth their hard-earned money. All right. Because most people, they start to think that things are supposed to be given when it comes to having the business and people shopping with you. And it's like, no, bro, ain't nothing given. You have to understand that, hey, this is what you're gonna work for when it comes to the business. Nobody's just gonna hand you nothing when it comes to their money, and that's something that got to be abundantly clear in the beginning. And I want to give a quick like a breakdown as far as that too, because a lot of people, they're under this notion, especially for my people who don't really use social media or know how to use social media that well. I want you to know that, like, you don't have to have a lot of followers to make money. You don't have to have a lot of followers to make money.
Good teach. Good teach.
It comes back to the science of it. Like I said before, I only had about 2,000 followers, and my goal was to make $50 a day, extra $1,500 a month. And that's with 2,000 followers. That's not a lot in the social media world if you're looking at the grand scheme of things. And then even now with 6,000, it's still not a lot, and we still was able to make have multiple $10,000+ months with 6,000 followers. Some people, they're not even doing that, and they got millions of followers.
And they got millions of followers. Yep.
Millions of followers. So it's going to be about how you position yourself in the market and how well you know your business and the amount of value that you're going to be able to bring to the market. Because if you're not a person that's genuine, and I'll say this, a nerd about your business, it's going to be very hard for people to invest into any program, any service, or any product that you're putting out. Because if you don't know your business better than the next person, people can't trust you. And the one thing I always say, we want to build the money bag, right? Everybody want to get to the money bag. I get it, and I abundantly understand it, because money is important. Money is needed because you got expenses and everything else. But the first thing that you have to be able to build before you get to the money bag is the trust bag. You
That's
got
a
to be able
bar.
to build the trust bag. So in building the trust bag, this is how you take people from being customers to being clients. All right. And what do I mean by that? All right. You take people from just being someone that come to you one time and then they out. They become clients because it feels like family. You feel like you took your time with them. All right. You build a relationship. All right. And some of these clients might actually be people that work with you for your business, because they know it better now, because they done shop with you so many times. They could see the holes in your business, and now you, on accident, actually start to build a trusted team of people that know your processes.
Absolutely. And I think I want to add this too, Ken. I think a lot of times, because we don't really understand the process, we spend a lot of time trying to find new clients versus being able to resell the clientele that we already have. We spend a lot of time trying to find new clients rather than reselling the clients or the clientele that we already have. Very important, because there's something called the power of 1,000. And with the power of 1,000, with that concept,
Looking all at your ass.
huh? Oh,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
so with the power of 1,000, that whole concept is you only need 1,000 people to eat for a lifetime. Why? Not because there's only 1,000 people on the planet Earth. We know that. Or that is only 1,000 people in the United States of America. We know that. But the fact is that when you have built that trust bag, like Coach Ken is talking about, when you build the trust bag, then what happens is when these people shop with you, as he mentioned, then it becomes more like family. So when it becomes more like family, now these people will do what? Come back and shop again. These people will come back and shop again to the point now that the trust bag is built up, so much so that they don't go nowhere else. They won't go anywhere else. So whatever your particular product, service, niche is, whatever that is, and they need it, the only person they getting it from is you, because you built up that trust bag. So now these people become reoccurring clients. These people not only are reoccurring clients, but they become brand ambassadors for your business because you've done such a good job, because the customer experience has been so well, because you have nurtured them and built that relationship, built that trust bag that Coach Ken is talking about, that now they want everybody in their sphere of influence to experience everything that they just experienced when it comes to dealing with you. So all of the people that you come into now, all of the new people are literally people that come to you via the clients that you already have. You ain't got to go out and do no marketing and advertisement on that particular perspective, right? You ain't got to go looking for new leads. You can do more branding stuff. You can do more, you can do more branding stuff, messaging, you know what I mean? Establishing what that is, but you don't have to go out looking for leads. Why? Because you got brand ambassadors within your own clientele, within your own community, because of how you treated them when they came through. Very important that we understand that, because when we understand that, then you'll treat your people better. You'll answer them emails. You'll get back with them with their customer service questions, right? We got a lot of us who do that, especially if we get a little buzz and our stuff is selling, and people blowing up the inbox because they haven't received certain things, or they trying to figure out where their product at, and then we get so saucy, we get so spicy with it, like we feel like we ain't emailing nobody back, and we just sending out messages of people just, but we forgetting what the end goal is, which is to develop and cultivate a community, and you do that by building up the trust bag. Go ahead, Coach Ken.
Oh yeah, facts. I agree with that wholeheartedly, and in building that trust bag, that's something that I pride myself on, especially when it comes to building things up. Like, you have to talk to your people if they having an issue, even if they disagreeing with you. Um, Still talk to them, because people that disagree with anything, or they might have a gripe about a product or service, those might actually be the people that take your business to the next level, because they're showing you the holes in it, something that they dislike. And believe it or not, some people won't be that honest with you. They just won't shop with you again. So I actually
Exactly.
like people like that that'll tell you, like, hey, this not it. You know what I'm saying? Basically. So you use that as something that's a perspective,
Right.
and it's a tool for growth, rather than looking at it as something that is a hindrance, or this person is quote unquote hating or something. Obviously they're not a hater if they invested their money in you. And some people don't understand that side of things. And one thing I definitely want to speak on, as far as when it comes to stuff like that, like, you have to understand, you got to have the proper mindset going into business too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because what happens sometimes is that people just go into business, right? They just
Yes.
go into business and think that's it. It's gonna be days you could go from making 4 grand in a day to the next day, the next 3 days, phone calls, that Stripe, that PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, getting a goose egg on it. All right. You got to have the mental fortitude to get through those blocks, understand what's going on in the business. And that's going to come with your personal growth and development. And this is something that people skip over too. You have to be able to have the mindset for business as well. All right, because you can't go in there being the same person that you was when you didn't have a business, because now you have literally people's lives in your hands, people's money in your hands as well as that. And you know how people get about their money, especially when it comes to the culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's various things that go on, and you have to become this person that's able to combat all of those things as they come your way. And that comes with the personal growth and development side of things, and being able to make sure you're steering the ship the right way, especially if you are someone that's seeking to grow a business for legacy, like I mentioned before, because the way you come off, right, that's going to affect your tribe. You know what I'm saying? That's going to affect the people around you. And I know who can I put it to, like Nicki Minaj, because she was on live last night, and I shout out to Miss Chambers, she sent it to me. um she was on live, and she literally has people whose name on Instagram has Minaj in it. She has what they call the barbs.
Yep.
So you have a community that you building up, and they're gonna react how you react. And then if you got a business and you have employees or contractors, they're gonna react how you react. So it's gonna be up to you to set. You're gonna be setting the temperature in a lot of the rooms that you go into, and how the morale is gonna be for the company. And if you
Mm.
don't have the right mindset for that, it's gonna be really, really hard to build that thing out properly and how you want to see it grow. So that's what I want to, really say about the mindset, because I went through that maturation process. You know what I'm saying? I just tell a quick story. I was in Costa Rica last summer, and it was some things going down I wasn't really agreeing with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on 10. I'm back to the '06 Ken. You know what I'm saying?
And he was fasting at the time, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brother was hungry too.
Yeah, I was on a little slight fast there too. But so with that, I noticed that my energy and my attitude kind of affected the group that was with me. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I had to take a step back and be like, damn, like this is when you see the power of your influence. And we ain't talking about social media, we talking about in
Right.
real life. And it's like, wow, like, all right, I have to get this together, because I started to look at it. If I, put people in this situation or something like that, this could happen in the business. And this is why people walk away from things,
Yeah.
because there is no order, during the chaos, or you not putting the order in place for them, even during the chaos or after it. What can we do to, remedy an issue? And it's like
Right.
you have to be in the right mind space for all of those things to go right.
And I think that's a good point. I think that's a beautiful point because most people are looking for structure. Most people are looking for stability and to be led in some form of fashion, right? So, when it comes to business, when it comes to organization, this is why people join organizations because of the structure. And when it comes to business, right? People apply for jobs because they have the structure in place, so they don't have to make their own schedule necessarily. They don't have to, set up, all of the different things, their to-do list as what they should be doing each and every day, daily task and
Facts.
things like that, right? This is why they work a 9 to 5, because if not, then they would be more than happy to sit down and do that for themselves, because that's what entrepreneurs have to do. You have what your manager does for you at your job is what you have to do for you as an entrepreneur. And you don't have the pressure of a manager looking over your shoulder, coming over, checking in with you to see if you're doing what you're doing, having meetings with you and powwows with you to make sure that you stand on task. You don't have that luxury as an entrepreneur. You have to be that for yourself. So it's discipline. So when it comes to the Black agenda, though, Coach Ken, you mentioned the
Mhm.
fact that you had multiple $10,000 months. How were you able to accomplish that with 2,000, 6,000 followers? I know you mentioned the fact that you watch your analytics on social media. You look at your impressions in specific and see how many impressions do you need that will convert to X amount of dollars, right? So you've gotten the science of it down pat. But to stay committed to that each and every day, what is the mindset so that you're able to hit those goals so that you can end the month with a $10,000 month?
Yeah. So the mindset behind that is it's a few things you have to be doing. You got to understand collaboration is key. That's number one. You got to have some form of collaboration. Like, even this here to being on the podcast. That's a form of collaboration. It's people in this audience, people eyeballs who are watching. I never heard of them. They have never heard of me. So you have to be in front of a different audience and growing your audience and network. That's one of the first things that was set up and in place for me without me even knowing I was doing that for real, for real. When I was going into different coaching groups and different networks of people, I was just being myself, letting them know what I do, letting them know about my products and services. People started following me, and I'm like, they might not have bought then, but later on, as they see me grow and build the trust bag once again, that's when the people became, customers and clients, behind it. Now, the part about getting to the bag after all of that stuff is that you have to have a system in place. Systems are what's going to help you because you don't just kind of trip your way into something like that. It takes real work, you know what I'm saying? And especially when it's your first time doing it, because you have to see what that process is like. And once I figured it out, I'm like, okay, this is how you have to talk to people. This is how you have to deal with people. This is how you schedule out your energy that you're gonna be putting into the business as well, because that's a whole nother aspect of things. All right. Because some people want to have 10,000, 20,000, $50,000 a month, whatever it may be, 100, even $100,000 months, right? But they don't understand the amount of energy that goes into that. And I knew for what I wanted to do, that month I was I wasn't in the best shape after it. I ain't gonna lie to you because it
It's,
was just different.
man, it's a lot of mental stamina, a lot of mental heavy lifting, a lot of mental energy that's exerted when, you pressing and pushing like that because you have to make sure everything hit the way it's supposed to hit each and every time so that you can get the same desired result. So when you looking at that, it's like, okay, boom, I got to make sure this is hitting with this boom. And if it don't hit, you got to figure out, okay, why didn't this thing, you know, do what it was supposed to do so that it could, ultimately result in this being the end goal. So, it's a lot of mental energy that's being used on a daily basis. So after a month like that, it's like, whew, you know. So the proper mindset will set the business tone. Absolutely. So for those who are here and who have been tuned in for the last hour. We certainly appreciate you all. Every like, every share, every comment, just being present in the comment section is definitely huge, family. I think Coach Kim was able to help really us establish the type of mindset, some of the things we should think about when it comes to going into business when you're starting off so that you can get started on the right foot. I think getting that momentum up and headed in the right direction is the best way to start versus you getting started up. Then you got to keep stopping and going back because you missed this step, missed that step, things like that. So, what would be some closing remarks that you would give to the people, Coach Ken?
Closing remarks would be make sure you got a plan before you do anything, even if it's on a napkin, whatever it is. Have some form of a plan ready, y'all. Like, do not go in there just blindly doing stuff. All right, have a plan. Have a plan. All right, because I'll give you this example because I love using it because it's so important. There's been a lot of people that's doing home births, they're doulas, midwives, whatever they do, right?
Right.
Imagine a midwife or doula come to you, your wife, right, Cam, saying, y'all vetting some people looking through, and it's like, okay, why did you start this? Why did you do this? What, who do you work with mostly? And they couldn't tell you none of this. How are you gonna feel about that?
Oh, I'm gonna be like, nah, she ain't the one.
She ain't the
Nah,
one.
I ain't rocking with it.
Now, people wonder why they can't get certain results in their business, and it's literally because of those same things. Because they haven't put that type of work in or plan to know what their business is about, and it rolls off their tongue easily. Because this is what they do day in and day out. It ain't no guesswork involved. And a lot of people are out here guessing when it comes to their business and thinking they're going to be successful. That's not something that's sustainable, and that's not something that you should do when you get into business. Because if you're not willing to plan it, you need to just get out the way. I'm gonna be honest with you because you're watering the game down for the ones that's really putting in the work,
Mm.
and that makes it hard for us, the people that are being very intentional, because people tend to think somebody being intentional, they straightforward, they to the point, they have things tease it. They tend to think it's like a scam or something
Mm.
because you just structured. It ain't like, oh, I need to find a flaw. You know, some people looking for that. And then the second thing is investing. Being able to invest in yourself, family. Like that's one of the biggest things you have to be able to do. And one question I like to ask people, what is the price that you will pay for not investing in yourself? Not the price of the investment. What is the price you not gonna pay, all right, for that pain that you got going on? Like
Mm.
a lot of people, they wait until the pain get too great to get help. You want to be, like I say the mantra, be proactive, not reactive. When you
That's
are
right.
starting out in business, get ahead of these things. Don't wait until it's too late and you bleeding out, your cash flow depleted, and now all you do have to depend on is your job because you didn't structure things the right way from the beginning. You ain't got no clients coming through. You got a website that's not even paying for itself because you don't have any customers or clients coming through. All right, you got your internet bill. It ain't paying for nothing in your house. You just going backwards the whole time in your business, and you can't seem to figure out why.
Right.
And it's because there is no set plan in place. There's no set order or system, all right, for this thing to work. Because I'm gonna just keep it real. Most people out here, they not working their business. The business working them, and they're becoming a slave
Mm.
to the labor of the business. And if you in that space, you literally going to hate your business more than you hated any job you ever had in your life.
That's
Any
right.
job.
A lot of people deal with that. A lot of people dealing with that, family, because there's a difference between being self-employed and being a business owner. And the difference between those two is systems.
Facts.
Systems is what makes the difference between being self-employed and being a business owner. And the reason is because when you put them systems in place, it eliminates you having to be as present as someone who's self-employed without systems because they can't work anything unless they're there to work it. So a self-employed person has to be there all the time in the business, hands-on, because that's how things get done. Versus a person who's a business owner who has systems in place, who have hired people to do things that they're not good at, have hired people to work their weaknesses, right? And I'm going to work in my strength and I can grow and scale the business because I have systems in place that allow me to maximize my time and my efforts. So just recently in my business, I have set up Calendly so that now we can start to take generating traffic from the website and from social media and generate that traffic that will go directly to a phone where somebody would answer that phone and will have to take direct business calls, even if those calls did not formulate into a sale. And there's nothing wrong with taking calls that don't necessarily form into a sale right on the bat. But the point is to be able to funnel the amount of calls that you're taking that allow you to maximize opportunities to close. So we set up the Calendly with a free consult, which is the offer, right? If you come through, you can get if you're interested, you can get a free consult. And in that free consult, we have the form set up so we are able to gauge the type of people that we're talking to before we even get on the phone with them. So we'll know and understand what their mindset is. Is this a person that's potentially can be closed, or is this a person that just wants some information? Right?
Facts.
We
That's
able to
huge.
gauge all of that before we even have the conversation, and we have the schedule set up. So now we have a better look at okay, what type of calls are going to be coming in, and we able to look at the schedule and able to see exactly what's on the schedule for the day, and it's giving clarity versus you just every time the phone ring you picking up, every time the phone ring you picking up, you talking to people, you might not close here, you probably not close here. You got this person that wanted to talk to you for an hour and a half and they wasn't even interested because they don't even have no money. Like you have all of that. So this is why you put those systems in place, because if you want to just learn and you want to just have a casual conversation, then there's plenty of information on the website. There's plenty of information in the videos, right? You can learn there. No need to talk to me about the information that's already present in the website or on social media. So putting those systems in place is what will allow you to be able to maximize. And then you have things like email marketing. You have things like, autoresponder for your social media. You have all of these different things in place that allow you to be in more than one place at one time, which will allow you to grow and scale a business at a phenomenal rate, family. So, you know,
Facts. He just gave y'all too much sauce. I'm like, dang,
yeah, super gang. Yeah,
but
and
it's
it's just because I just literally, like, we literally just did it, and I
yeah,
just right even before I came on for this show, I had uploaded the link to the Instagram page so that people can now begin to click on the link on the Instagram page and start to get the free consult. But we literally set up the Calendly yesterday, and we actually had a call. We had a call. Shout out to Sister Verena, wherever you are, sister. We had a nice call set up with Sister Verena yesterday, looking at bringing her onto the team for that email marketing, which is going to be huge for what we're doing because we don't like to do emails. And because my man, he the one that literally has to sit down and write all of the emails. He didn't even know about the primary, the general, and the request on Instagram.
oh
So
wow,
he had hit the request button. He found it. He stumbled across the request button on Instagram and saw all these messages from like last year and the year before last of people trying to reach out to him that he had no idea about because, in the request box, those are from people that don't follow you.
right,
So you don't get those directly. You have to go right to the request box and get them. And they was from a year ago, last year. People waiting on a response. People trying to, do this because he might have commented to them on, a post on their feed, and then they hit him in the DM, and he never hit them back. So all of that money was left on the table just because we didn't have these systems in place. We don't know how to work certain things. So it's a huge, huge advantage. It's a huge advantage once you understand and get this knowledge. And investing in yourself is important, and that's how you have all of that. And that's how you're able to take that opportunity to invest in yourself and utilize that information to expand the business. So,
facts. Yeah, no, that's it right there, for sure, and that's how you want to, start building things out. And what we told y'all here tonight, that's just some snippets of what's going on because we can't give y'all everything, just in an hour. It
right,
take a lot. And one thing I want people to understand is when you invest in vetted people you have watched and understand. All right, and then outside of that, make sure you have your mindset right, y'all. Like make sure that mindset is you having daily growth with it. All right, because that's what's going to help you get to the next level. That's what's going to help you sustain the business and have the ability to bring people on and being able to feed the community. And that's how you're going to grow. And
absolutely.
I would definitely like leave y'all with that. And you can follow me on Instagram. It's the same name, Ken Stevens Jr.
Yep.
The Black Agenda as well. But yeah,
Thank you, Coach Kim, man. We certainly appreciate you coming on to the show, sharing the platform with us, brother. We certainly appreciate all of the gems, the jewels, the knowledge, the tips that you gave us tonight. Family, if you learned anything, I hope you had your pen and pad or you was able to at least write this in your notes on your phone because you got a lot of good information tonight, things that you could use and that you could put into play into your business tomorrow. And that's the purpose here at the Campaign TV Show podcast, man. We have real discussions with real people, and it's definitely been a real discussion tonight. So if you like what you heard here tonight and you want to be a part of our podcast community, you can easily text the word podcast to the number 404-737-1030. Again, you can text the word podcast to 404-737-1030. It's also scrolling across the bottom of the screen, family. If you would like to donate via Cash App to the Campaign TV Show, you can do that. $ Campaign TV Show, all one word. $ Campaign TV Show, all one word. And again, you can definitely make sure that you stay in contact with Ken Stevens Jr. via his social media. If you want to reach him for his services, then you can reach out via his social media and be able to set up that evaluation call, that consultation call, and be able to move through the process from there. So I appreciate you, Coach Ken. You got the free business mini course and workbook in the chat, family. So if these are anything that you may be interested in, make sure you tap in with Coach Ken on that because investing in the knowledge so that you can run your business properly is priceless.
Yes, sir.
Investing in the knowledge so that you can run your business properly is priceless. So we spend money on a whole bunch of things that don't bring us any value, don't bring us any knowledge on how we can run our business better, how we can live our lives better. Whereas it pertains to business, when it comes to investing, make sure you're investing in good coaching, good material, good books. That's going to allow you to take the information and apply it to your business so that you can be a better business person. So we appreciate y'all, family, for tuning in tonight. And make sure y'all stay tapped into the show. All right, man, we certainly appreciate it. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
You know. Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me. I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I was chosen by that man.